Hello, good afternoon. This is Will from Will to Trade, and I wanted to go over some of the stocks that we traded in our room today, some of the stocks that we were looking at. Today is Monday, April 11th, 2016. And let's see here. First, I want to just show you guys LEI. LEI. Yeah, we really didn't trade this in our room today. I didn't trade this today. These lines that you see on the chart are taken over from, or carried over, I should say, from last week. I made a couple of videos in LEI last week, and these are the same lines that I have. This line, this blue, solid blue line here at the bottom is $6. This dotted blue line here in the middle is $6.60. This solid blue line right here is $7. You can check out the last video that I made on LEI, and I was talking about how it had a really clean, awesome, wonderful breakout on Thursday. It had kind of an inverted breakout / breakdown on Friday. And today it was deceptive again. A really tricky stock. You know, if we scroll over here to the pre-market, it looked like, oh, LEI could be breaking out again. In the room, I had told everyone, I don't trust it. It looks really risky. And if you look here at the opening, these are 1 minute candles. There really wasn't a really clean breakout. It opened above $7 and then it went to $7.43. If you could have grabbed it, I mean, like literally the first couple seconds of the market open and just tried to grab 3, 4, maybe 5% gain, you could have been a winner. But then candle number 2 or minute number 2, it just comes slamming down. Again, kind of like last Friday, if you were buying in the dips, you could have bought right here at $6.60. And again, as I said in my last video on Friday, me personally, I don't like to buy on the dips on a heavy decline like this. I don't like to catch a falling knife, but that's just me personally. But for those of you that were able to trade it that way, your first 10 minutes or so is your cleanest trade. It kind of consolidates here. I mean, look at this. It almost drops down to, well, I'll say $6. No, it almost drops down to $6.20, but then it kind of consolidates here around the $6.60 mark. Eventually taps a little bit above 7. But if you were trying to buy the breakout on 7, it's a failed breakout. It really got to what, 717 and then came tumbling down, closed around 627 or so. So no trades for me on LEI. I don't think really too many people in our room traded LEI, but I just wanted to mention it because I did mention it last week, and it is a pretty interesting runner from last Thursday. Okay, the stock that I actually did trade that I think was kind of interesting is MCEP. MCEP. If you look at the whole day, I wouldn't really say I wouldn't personally classify it as a pump and dump, but I would classify it as like a pop and drop. I mean, it pops up, it drops, and then it consolidates. It doesn't really fade all day, but it consolidates all day. So let's just kind of zoom in the 1 minute, all what I was looking at. There wasn't heavy volume on this in the morning. It took a while before it even got to over 500,000 shares traded. There wasn't really a ton of heavy volume on really much of anything this morning, so I was kind of interested in MCEP, at least for a quick trade or two. I saw that the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minute candles were nice and green, and they were slowly stepping up, but I also noticed that the volume was also inversely declining. So it gave me a little bit of pause. I thought it could be good for a quick scalp or two, but I don't expect this to be a huge runner. This is a nice sign for a quick scalp, but again, this low volume in total, and then a descending volume progressing or degressing. It's not the most bullish sign for long term. As you can see here, it really tightly hovers just below the $3 mark. So I was interested in this above 301. I don't know if you can see this, but this is 301. I actually alerted it in the room before I took the trade. This dotted blue line is 316. This range here represents a 5% gain. I actually sold a little early, sold around 312. Just wasn't really trusting the move. You can't really tell from these candles, but it actually moved pretty slower than I thought it was going to move. I really thought that once it squeezed past 301, it was just going to turn into 315, 316 within a matter of 2-3 minutes. It didn't. But then I took a second trade at this blue line here, and I want to kind of go over that. So it squeezes up above 301, mostly green. It makes its way through 316, and then it it hits a high right here at 330. So, you know, sometimes we'll buy above the dollar, sometimes we'll buy above the half dollar. But those rules are not set in stone. We don't have to buy at the dollar or the half dollar. We can just buy even 1 penny above previous high of day. And again, as you can probably see on my screen, you know, HI, high. These are, you know, as it breaks through new highs. This is, you know, the study that I use because that's really what I'm interested in. And then conversely, if a stock is going down, it'll say low. I can see as it's breaking down. But this here is 330. So simple math, I just added a penny. Said, all right, well, if it breaks up to 331, I would be interested in taking another trade. If it doesn't, it'll just fade away or fall down. 331 will never hit, I'll never get filled, and I won't have a trade. And if you see here, this trade really happened within 2 minutes, really quick. It happened really within 2 minutes. It immediately squeezed through 331. It popped up to 364. I sold right here at this dotted blue line at 360, and then down. It faded, and then really just kind of hovered this 316 mark. So again, I want to kind of say to anyone that's in my room that's watching, or anyone that's thinking about joining the room, you know, look, I can give alerts all day long. That's cool. You can go to rooms that give alerts all day long. But look at how fast these moves are. These moves are happening within minutes. Sometimes it feels like they're happening within seconds. So the whole point of being in a room is alerts. The whole point of being in a room is to learn how to trade, to understand how these stocks can move up, down, sideways, etc., to really be able to anticipate the move. If you're in a room, you don't have to just follow the moderator. You can really understand these charts and make your own decisions and come up with your own ideas. Because sometimes by the time I post the alert, you blink, you miss it. By the time I post the alert, you know, the stock may be, or by the time you see the alert, the stock may be 10, 20, 30 cents higher than where it was alerted. As you can see, this moved up about 15, 20 cents within a minute or so. So I really urge anyone who's watching this video, learn the charts, understand the charts. Don't just follow me. Don't just follow somebody else. Understand how these stocks can move so you can make your own moves. And I'll talk about that in a minute. So actually, I will transition to this one, UEPS. This is an example of talking about moves. One of the members in our room pointed this move out to us. One of the members in our room said, hey, check out UEPS. I thought it was an excellent call. Shouts out to the member in our room that did give us this call. There was some news here about $108 million investment into this company. That's great. But I personally say it's not really the news itself. It's how the traders react to the news. You could have the greatest news and traders are bearish on it. You could have so-so news and traders can be really bullish on it. Me personally, I'll look at the chart first and then look at the news second. You know, that's just me. And if you look here at the bottom, I mean, it's not zero volume, but in comparison, it may as well. Look at this. It's almost like no vol, and then boom, just like instantly just explodes up with volume. So if you're not in a room, you would probably find out about this move based on your scanners. Maybe having stocks that hit new high of day scanners, stocks that are up a certain percentage on the day scanner. And then you probably would also find out about this. But if you take a look here, you'll see, I mean, what a clean, sharp move. If anyone was able to buy this stock right here, I don't know, around the 950s, 980s or so, hey, congratulations. I mean, you got in really early on the move up. You are on the trigger. You're doing fantastic. We didn't get in that early. I actually alerted it at $11. So it's like a whole dollar beyond this point where it kind of started. But I was just wanted to draw this blue line here. It's not where we got in, but in retrospect, where I think would have been a really great place to get in. This is 1070. The reason I said 1070 is because here again, it reaches a high of 1069, following my rule that if it's just even one penny, even one little penny above a previous high of day, it has the potential to continue to break out. It doesn't mean it's going to. There's no absolutes. It just means it has potential. Sometimes it takes more than a penny, but you know, again, other traders are looking at stocks that are reaching new high of day. So if it's a penny up, it's a new high of day, and it'll show up on people's scanners. So we scroll over here, and sure enough, right here, it breaks through 1070. And look at this. Coincidentally, I don't know if it's coincidence or not. Look at that. Look at that huge green candle. Breaks through right here at the blue line. I don't know if you can see here. It's at 1070. I don't know if you can see that 1070. And again, huge volume spike. This volume spike, even though there's not that much volume to the left and not that much volume to the right, is indicative. Okay, there's a bunch of buyers coming in. There could be more buyers coming in. So if you bought it at 1070, and again, we bought a little later, you could hold for an awesome gain. You could hold up to almost a 15% gain at the top. But how do you know? How do you know how long to hold? How do you know when the stock is turned? Sometimes you really don't know. But if you took this 1070 mark, you could have added anything. You could have added up 5% and been a winner. You could have added up 10% and been a winner. You could have added just a whole $1 and been a winner. This is 1170, so from 1070 to 1170. So this is about 10%, give or take. Just kind of showing a pretty clean move up to 1170, and then it continues to rip. And I remember I said in the room, if you're watching this, if you're in a room, I kept saying it's going to go to 12. It's going to go to 12, and sure enough, it goes to 12. Once it hits 1233, it does kind of fade for the day. I think this dotted blue line is interesting. This is again 1170, kind of signifying $1 up. An awesome, fantastic place to buy above a bull breakout. 1170 would have been a solid place to sell. Although sure, if you could have anticipated the $12 move, that would have been even better. If you could have anticipated the 1230 move, that would have been borderline psychic, which would have been phenomenal. But if you're being conservative and you sold $1 up, you're selling right here at 1170. But notice how here and here, coincidentally, it kind of taps this 1170 line. I just find that interesting. That's just me personally. So this was a good trade for some of us in the room. This was a great alert from someone in the room. And the last stock I want to go over, which is really congratulating the members in the room, is EGLE. EGLE. Me personally, I don't like to trade a ton of stocks that are sub $1. That's just me. Every once in a while I may, but unless it's something that's really special. So this is Eagle Bulk Shipping. This is a lot of traders were looking at this, and again, this kind of signifies at least what our room is about. Our room is about everyone sharing ideas with each other. I may share some ideas of some stocks that I see that are in play. Other members are definitely going to share some stocks that they see that are in play. Just because I share something doesn't mean that members are going to trade on it. Just because members share something doesn't mean I'm going to trade on it. So we're not about copy paste in our room. We're about sharing ideas and learning so that everybody can grow as a trader, everyone with their own unique style. If you look at EGLE, we had traders that were buying, I think, around the 70, 80 cents mark, somewhere in this area, and they were excited to break above 90 cents, which they called out in the room, and they were excited for the break above $1 in after hours, and then of course tapping at $1.24 in after hours. They were super excited about that. So this represents a fantastic trade that traders took on their own. Had nothing to do with me, had nothing to do with my alerts, had nothing to do with anything that I was talking about. It just shows that we are all sharing ideas with each other. Speaking of sharing ideas with each other, if you're watching this video and you want to get into our room is currently free. You can email me, thewilltotrade@gmail.com. We'll get you started. If you don't want to be in our room, you can definitely search the internet for tons of other rooms. I personally, as I always say, I recommend that everyone get involved in some community, whether it be a room or in person, so that you can maximize your efforts in a group setting. 2 heads are better than 1. 10 people are better than 2, and so on. If you like the video, you want to give it a thumbs up. If you want to get alerts about all these videos when they do hit YouTube, go ahead and hit subscribe. Thank you all very much for sitting with me through this 15-minute video. I hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.